Hello everyone, you're welcome back to this channel. This is Digicom Escape, and today I want to talk about tripod. If you're a photographer or you're a videographer, filmmaker, whatever you're doing, when it comes to dealing with camera shooting footage, I have this tripod and this monopod. They're going to be essential to what you are doing. In fact, they're going to be a big part of what you're doing. Mostly if you are a filmmaker in the large scale or in a medium scale or even in a small scale. Regardless of where you find yourself, you're still going to have the need for tripod. Even though with the camera of today, there's a lot of technology that manufacturers have put into their camera to make it better handled with a better footage stability. Yet, you cannot do away with tripod or monopod. In fact, this is not a kind of gadget that will be forgotten in the filmmaking industry. No matter how stabilization you can put in a camera, you're still going to need a tripod to get a better stable footage. And for that being said, why would you want to get one? And I've answered the question already. The reason why you want to get a tripod is because you need a place to put your camera on to hold it, to film. You need something that can make that camera to be stabilized. And one way to stabilize your camera is to have a tripod or a monopod. And I'm going to say this to you that most filmmakers know where they use tripod and monopod. But I can still tell you that apart from using this to stabilize your camera, there's a lot of stunts you can use tripod or monopod for. The more you can imagine, the more you can unlock using tripod or monopod. Alright, we have all kind of tripod and we have all kind of monopod. And there are some that will cost you a ton of money. And some are just really cheap. It depends on what you want. We're going to go into the structure, how they are made, what you need to know about getting tripod, what will suit your need and what will not suit your need. If you're a photographer, fine. You don't need a tripod with fluid head. But if you're a videographer, you shoot video, you need tripod with video head. And when I say video head, I mean a tripod with liquid inside the head. And that is where you differentiate the cheaper tripod and the more expensive one. Those that are expensive are really built to last, and they are built for a fluid movement. There's some tripod that you're going to get that they will still call video head tripod, but they are not fluid head. They are kind of metal to metal rubbing. I think those are drags. Those I will call drag video head because they only rub together on metal to create some drag or some resistance, I will call it. Alright? But if you really want a true video head, you need a true video head with fluid inside. And these are examples that I have here that they actually have fluid inside them. Like this Satchel now is a video fluid head. And this is Manfrotto Nitrotech. It's also a fluid head. Here I have my monopod without the head. And these are good for photographer, also for videographing. But you can easily get a video head and put on this one. Alright. Now let's dive into another part of the tripod. Some of them will come in bow head, like that. That means they have cycle head. Some will come with flat head. In this case, looking at this tripod, this is a half cycle. They call it bow head. They are not flat. Actually, there's a circle inside, half circle inside that distance setting. Now look at this. This is the reason why they call it bow head. When you take this part out, now you have a flat head. Some come with flat head, some come with bow head. It depends on which one you really want. I prefer the bow head on my tripod for quick adjustment. And I prefer the flat head on my slider. Alright? So, getting a flat head or bow head will depend on where you want to use it. And this comes in 100mm, 75. This is 75. You have 100, you have 150, and something like that. Alright? And this is how you put them back and you lock it in. Alright? This also, the Manfrotto also is a bow head, and easily you can take the bow head out and turn it to flat head. All right. So when it's come to money spending on tripod, in all honesty, and I'll be honest with you, if you are taking your job serious, you can't go really cheap on tripod, because the lesser you go on the money, the lower quality you get on the outcome of your footage, right? Just like this video head. These are, I will call, like entry level into fluid head. There's some, if I have to put it this way, for you to get a good tripod, new, that are really good, that will get the job done, you'll be looking at $400 above. Those are where you want to be when you are shopping for tripod. You really want to be within that range. You can spend anything from $400 to 12,000 and even more. It depends on what you're getting. And now, bells and whistles on the fluid on the tripod will be that, do you want to go with aluminum or you want to go with carbon fiber? This is carbon fiber. They are lightweight. Aluminum is a little bit of weight, but they are less in price compared to carbon fiber. And I'm going to put it this way. If you know your tripod is going to stay in your studio, in all honesty, you don't need carbon fiber for that. You are not traveling with it. But if you do travel a lot, I would recommend you get carbon fiber to shed off some of the weight. It is up to you. But that will cost you extra money. For that convenience, it's going to be extra money, right? Now, other whistles and bells will be that, like this is a 3-section tripod, monopod. This three section. That is, you have 3 latches. So there are 3 sections. This is 2 section because we have 2 knobs. There is some tripod that are 3 section, but in most cases, they are mostly 2 section. All right. But now, the convenience sake or the ease of use is where you now spend extra money in buying tripod. There's some that you only have to unlock, the knob from the top right here, and it will drop all the level, either 2 level or 3 level. It will drop all the stages, if I have to put it that way. Like the 4th stage of the tripod, you only have 1 knob here to take them out, and it control or lock all the legs. Those are conveniences that you pay for if that's what you want to go for. Or you can save some money and go for, individual adjustment on the levels. That is, when I open this one, it opened the 2nd level. And if I have to go for the this open the 1st level, and this also open again the 2nd one. All right. So when you look at this right now, you have to lock this one in, and I have to lock this one in to make sure everything is balanced. But in some tripod, you only need 3 knobs up here to either lock or unlock the legs. Okay, those are all I call convenience, and you pay for that when it comes to tripod. All right. Now, this is where you get interested, right? And I'm going to tell you this way, that if you are using it in the studio, you are good with aluminum legs, it's okay. I've never seen any carbon fiber head. If there's any, let me know. But for now, and as at now, I've never seen any carbon fiber video head. But, you get tons and tons of carbon fiber legs. All right? So that being said, let's go on now that if you are getting one, what should you consider in buying a tripod? What are the things you need to consider before you go for a tripod? Number one thing I'm going to tell you to consider before you buy any tripod is, are you going to be traveling with the tripod, or are you going to put it in one place to use in your studio? If you're going to be traveling with your tripod, I will advise you get a carbon fiber legs. All right? But if you are not going to be traveling a lot with your tripod, save your money and go with aluminum legs. That's number one thing you have to consider. The second thing you will consider is that you want to at least look for a tripod that is not cheaply made, so that it will last you a long time, so that the legs are not cheaply made, so that it will be able to carry the weight of your, probably your rig. After you rig up your camera, you'll be sure that you have a tripod that has a very good build quality. That will be your second thing you want to put in mind, right, in buying tripod. And the third thing that we ask you to consider is that, first thing before you say you're going out to buy a tripod, rig up your camera first. When you rig up your camera, put your monitor, if you are going to put monitor, whatever you're going to put on your rig, make sure you have everything set up and weigh your camera and look at how much it weighs. Actually, I will recommend that you at least future-proof your tripod. And what I mean by you want to buy a tripod to be future-proof is that you buy a camera that the payload will be twice the weight of your rig. That's what I mean by future-proof. Should in case you want to add more accessory, you don't have to go out there and buy another tripod. That, if you buy exactly what can carry your camera now, who knows in the future, maybe you're going to buy a bigger camera or you're going to add more accessory to your camera, and by so doing, you may overpower the capacity of the tripod. For that being said, in my own advice, I always advise people that if you are buying tripod, make sure you buy a tripod that is twice in capacity of your camera weight. So you are future-proof right there. You buy a bigger camera, the tripod will still serve you. So that's what I mean by future-proof. When you are buying a tripod, be sure you buy a tripod that the load capacity is twice of that your camera rig. Number 4 that I will ask you to consider when you are buying a tripod is that be sure you buy a fluid head. Fluid head, if you are doing video, and this, I think they have their fluid right there, and the fluid is right here on this one, inside here. Alright, do not buy a tripod with a metal to metal drag. No, those will work very well when you first get them. After a while that they keep rubbing, they're going to be losing that smooth. The friction is going to be wearing out, and before you know it, you have a shaky tripod. And at the end of the day, those shakiness will transfer into your footage, and it's going to be obvious that the camera and the tripod is not good. But when you have a fluid head like this thing actually have fluid inside that creates that resistance. And when you have that fluid, in fact, you will like your footage. They're going to be smooth. Everything will actually show that you are using a very good tripod. So invest in a fluid head, not those drag head, fluid head tripod. That's what you want to invest in. And those are the things you need to consider when you are investing in tripod. Alright. Another thing to consider when you are buying tripod, to some people, this last option may be optional, and it may be something you really need when you are considering buying a tripod. And that is counterbalance. Let me explain again. Not all camera fluid head will come with counterbalance. The less expensive tripod don't come with counterbalance, but those that are high-end will come with counterbalance. And if you are really serious about getting a good tripod, I will also recommend that you get a tripod that the fluid head come with counterbalance. In the case of the Ace, the Ace, I have the counterbalance back here, and it's like a 6-step counterbalance, right? Down there, this is where you have the adjustment for the drag, which is the pan, and right here is where you have the adjustment for the teeth, up and down. You have your locking mechanism right there for the teeth and the drag. So it's up to you. But if you are serious for safety, for smooth operation, I always advise people to buy a tripod with counterbalance. And this is where you set your counterbalance on the Sashla. And on the Manfrotto, this is where you set the counterbalance. Alright, and the counterbalance on this one is a little bit different from this. Alright, the technology is a bit different. If you look at it, this one uses some kind of pin, like hydraulic pin, to do the counterbalance. And this one, I think, is some kind of spring inside to do the counterbalance. So it's two different ways, but trying to achieve the same result. Alright, that's the last thing I'm going to say that you should consider if you are buying a tripod. Guys, so this is what I really want to show you about tripod. They are essential. They are good. You can't wish them away. They can't. Till tomorrow, we're going to need tripod, either we like it or not. Tripod are not going away. They are part of filmmaking equipment. And that will be the end of the video for today, guys. For that being said, if you are yet to subscribe to this channel, please do subscribe and support the channel. Let's grow the channel together. And until next time again, there will be getting a video or another video from me. Stay tuned, stay blessed, remain blessed. Bye bye, guys.